I mean, the handling of the Epstein scandal that goes down in history as like the worst handling of a scandal I've ever seen. Literally, from all these guys running on, we're going to release this stuff. Pam Bondi having that thing where she gave the influencers
folders?
the binders.
Remember them holding the binders
and then
up
it
in
turns
the
out there was
distance?
nothing in them that was new. And then they pivoted on a dime to there's no such thing. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're crazy to think there was a thing to be released. Like, it was, and then to turn around, and then they turn around, and Mike Johnson said it will end the political order if we vote for Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna and Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill to release the files. And then they turn around and get pressured into voting for it, and now they're just redacting everything, and like it's just, I mean, just he lost so much credibility on that. Obviously, I think bombing Iran was terrible.
Well, let's go one thing at a time.
Sure.
The Epstein. So look, bring up some of those pictures that they just released too. What was with the photo drop right before Christmas? It's all so bizarre. Like, what is that a picture about? If you're a married guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, like,
if you're a married 60-year-old guy.
Yeah, listen, I'm never going to be in a position with some chick like that. I'm a married guy. It's a weird thing. Yeah. I mean, now again, it doesn't give us that much more information and we don't see her face, but sure does look a lot younger than him.
Yeah, go through some of these. I mean, this is kind of, I mean, it's all just kind of wild.
Kevin Spacey and Bill Clinton there.
And was this at Epstein Island? Allegedly. And there's some photos. This is the best thing. Look at these photos. Everything redacted in them. These could be photos from anybody's phone. Everything redacted. And then one mark of the beast or something from Zodiac Killer on the one that he'd drawn on.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. I mean, it's just like.
It's so strange.
Why?
Man.
Why would they just show us some of this stuff right before the holidays? Are they just trying to like everything now you have to think. Is it trying to distract my attention from something else, you know? And the news reports, they don't even tell you about the real shit that's going on anyway.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff that's happening, here's the crazy part. We don't even know anymore. Yeah. Like most of the most serious shit that's going on.
Yeah.
We don't even have a clue.
Well, I think part of the thing, look, the Epstein, the whole story is so, like, it's so dirty. It just stinks. I mean, you just look at it and you're like, dude, look, we know what we know, but knowing what we know, how could you possibly piece this together that it's not some huge scandal? Right. I mean, like already when you just go, okay, so there's a guy who was convicted of pedophilia or convicted of soliciting prostitution from an underage girl, you know, then a decade after he's convicted, or at least 8 years after, he's still like in the most influential circles with all these, and then for national security reasons, you're telling me that this has to be hugely redacted? Like, what the hell? This just makes no sense. And his connections to Ehud Barak and Mossad now all being known, it's just too crazy. And Donald Trump, I mean, I think covering up the Epstein thing the way he has like profoundly hurt him in a way that isn't even measurable on polls. And like his poll numbers are lower than they were, and I'm sure that's a big part of it. But there is something where like, look, the fundamental animating spirit of Donald Trump's political existence, his central promise was drain the swamp.
Yeah.
You know, like the reason why people love Donald Trump is because everybody on some level knew that DC is just corrupt as shit and that they're screwing all the rest of us over and they face no consequences for it. And
facts.
There's something about covering up the Epstein thing that it's like, oh, when it really came down to it, you didn't want to drain the swamp. Yeah. You wanted to protect them. And maybe because you're pretty close to it.
You're a gator. Yeah. Oh, it's just so twisted. And one thing that Tucker Carlson said that was interesting to me, yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is just, I mean, weird writings from the Lolita books on these women's bodies.
Very strange.
I mean, that's really wild.
Oh,
just bizarre.
There's Noam Chomsky, legendary anti-war leftist. Steve Jobs. I'm sorry, not Steve Jobs. Bill Gates. I apologize for that, Steve. R.I.P.
Yeah. couple bow and arrows. But yeah, just bizarre that these would come out right before Christmas. It kind of like keeps your attention focusing on that.
And also
it's like a drip. It's like a morphine drip.
And delivered in a way that is more confusing than illuminating. You know what I mean? Delivered in a way where nobody's attempting to actually get information to you that you can even try. I mean, like, obviously, like, good journalists will be tearing through these documents. I think they said there's like 1.7 million more to come. The journalists will be tearing through these for years. But like, I think you just
it's like
can't.
Watching Lost after a while.
Well, also, I can't. Look, man, I know people get tribal about politics, and I know, like, there was a whole, when I came out like a little over a year ago and I said I was going to support Donald Trump in the election, I know the Trump people were like, yeah, Dave Smith's on board, and I always knew, I was like, listen guys, you're going to be mad at me when he does something I don't like and I'm back to criticizing him, but like, if we're just being fair about this, I can't not say this shit. Dude, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino made millions of dollars, dude. Like, they made so much goddamn money. I mean, I don't know. Kash did a lot of big shows. Dan Bongino had a huge show. He made millions of dollars all day long talking about this Epstein scandal, how they were going to get to the bottom of it. He even said, Dan Bongino, I guess he's leaving now, but the deputy FBI director even said on Tim Pool's show that he had it on good authority that Jeffrey Epstein was connected to Middle Eastern intelligence. Now, which Middle Eastern intelligence do you think he was talking about? Epstein was surely working on the Saudi payroll or something like that. Like, yeah, okay. So like, they said this, they promised they were going to get to, and not just did jack shit, lied through their fucking teeth, told us there were no co-conspirators, there was no sex trafficking, that he killed himself. Like, hey, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, you looked me in the eye, not to me, but to the American people, and said he killed himself. I've seen the proof. Why can't we see that proof?
Yeah. I don't even know if Kash can look somebody in the eyes, first of all.
Kash, you looked all of us in the eye simultaneously.
It is funny when you start to look at Kash Patel, you're like, there's no way this was the guy. How did we ever think this was the guy? And Tim Dillon has totally kind of like, Tim Dillon has brought this guy's life down, but to a manageable level, to a realistic level. Like, yeah, those guys, it makes you realize that there's something above the FBI and the CIA that gives them what you're allowed to work from here.
Yeah. That's right.
It's like you sit at the kids' table at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you play with these, you can do the drug charges and a little bit of this and that, but otherwise we're gonna handle the big shit.
That's right. Or it's either that they never really got in control and there was a level of control above them, or that they were lying and that they sold out, or that they were compromised, but there's some answer to it. But there is something where like the credibility damage on all of them. Like just the amount of like street cred that Kash Patel had a year ago compared to now.
And Trump too, I think.
All of them.
But some of it is also, I think, is it's the communication, right? It's like, why not come and say, hey, I got in here. I'm not even allowed to see the things that I really want to see.
Yeah.
And I'm also not allowed to say the things that I really want to say.
Yeah.
Right? That's like, if you said that, or if you said, like, honestly, there's so many, this Epstein stuff has to go through so many hands before we can even put anything out to the public, so that everybody can safely get their stuff redacted, that it's unbelievable. And the best we're ever going to get is this.
Well, the other thing that
because didn't he say that they had seen everything and there was nothing there?
Yeah.
Can you pull that up? I think he said
which
that
is
on
also
Rogan.
Now they're saying there's 1.7 million documents. Like, did you go through all of those yourself? Like, are you confident? Yes, he did say that.
You and Dan
Rogan.
had a sleepover or whatever and just stayed up all night going through those.
And you also just know, right? Like, it's like, if he had come on Rogan a year earlier, he would have been saying a whole different thing about that. And so it's like, you got to at least explain to me, like, what changed from there to now? Because otherwise you leave us just speculating, like, I don't know, dude, either you're compromised or you got put in your place, or you're just a liar and a fraud.
Yeah. Let me see what clips. Oh, here's a clip we have. This is a Tim Dillon, this is a Kash Patel Rogan clip that Tim Dillon covered. This is good.
Patel talking about why they can't put the Epstein stuff out, because it will re-victimize the women.
We're not going to re-victimize women.
What?
We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it.
Who wins? He's dead.
It's too ridiculous, man.
I mean,
look,
the victim.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies
But
on an
there
island,
is.
and I'm in charge. Don't you think you'd see it?
Yes, but that's why everyone's confused. Pam Bondi said there were videos. She's the attorney general. She goes, there's hundreds of hours of video. That's a quote from Pam. Get the Pam Bondi quote up about the videos. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn, and there are hundreds of victims. So that's Pam Bondi. Now let's go to Kash Patel, who goes, so if there were things, let's go. Kash Patel, everyone.
If there was a video, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
You got it? Where
okay.
Where is it?
Where else would it be?
It's just
This is why, dude, this is why Tim's a better comedian than me, because he could just be so funny with this shit, and it just makes me so angry. Like, even just watching that, I'm just like furious, so I don't like even think of the funny thing to say. I'm just like, yeah, because, dude, what does that essentially come down to? Trust me. If I had it, don't you think I would? And what is Cash really trading in his trust for? Is we liked you because you said you were going to get to the bottom of this shit.
Right.
That's the whole thing we liked you for. So you can't turn around and then go, and now I'm here. But wouldn't you know me? I mean, and look, dude, there's a broader thing that's involved here, right? The point is that the Drain the Swamp, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, their whole brand, the whole thing was that, look, there are these criminals in DC, and look at all the things that they've done. And they would all talk, it wasn't just Epstein, they would all talk about Russiagate, the 2020 election. I mean, look, what these guys are claiming, and I don't know about the 2020 election, but they're 100% right on Russiagate and Epstein when they were talking about it before they sold out, is that they go, look, the intelligence agencies framed a presidential candidate, and then the sitting president, they framed him of treason in order to unseat a democratically elected president of the United States of America. That is the biggest scandal in the history of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Like, these are huge crimes, sedition, treason, very serious crimes.
And nobody's paying
They
attention.
locked down the whole country based on pseudoscience. They covered up a senile president. They covered up a pedophile ring. And now you guys are in charge of the Justice Department. How many indictments?
yeah.
Zero. And then you're going to sit there and Kash Patel is going to tweet out a picture of like some dude throwing a sandwich at a cop and go, we got him. Because this is Kash Patel's America, boys. People don't get away with crimes here.
Yeah.
Like oh, wow, great job. Wow, Kash Patel, we're all so impressed that you brought down Chauncey Billups.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's great, you know? Like, that's great, but like, that's not exactly what we were voting for.
Can't a cop get a free Reuben? I don't care how he gets it.
And that sandwich was still pretty
I don't
good.
care how he gets it, dude. A cop would love a free Reuben, dude.